So you might be wondering how a man like me gets by. How I shave on the sides or kept a clean shave before when I went to work for a company that wanted that type of stuff. My new company allowed me to have long hair and this type of, I love that. So I was able to keep my long hair. I had to wear a hat until it grew in and then a ponytail, but no matter how many times even in the bathroom, I mean, you can't undo years of breathing in mold. Um, yeah, my work would, I mean, if I had a seizure and I literally just bled and my testicles were filled with blood, my work would allow me to work while sitting in a chair while still bleeding. They didn't care. They didn't care what I looked like. They didn't care if I was shaking. They didn't care as long as the job got done. And as long as I could get to the row of cigarettes at the top, as long as I could get to the computer, I could always do my job. I could move the chair around. Because the disabled people who work there, or some of the able bodied people that work there, don't do their jobs. They want to get stoned. They want to chit chat with their boyfriend in the parking lot. They want to call out and party all day and have somebody cover their shift. They want to sit in a chair and play video games on the phone. So somebody who just wants to work like me but gets hurt every so often during work, get back up off the floor, get back to work. Ambulance, you stick that enema up your ass from the because you have a blockage. Spend 3 hours in the bathroom and get to work. You shut down the bathroom, anybody else would just call out for the full day. I had a blockage in the morning, I made it there instead of going to the emergency room like I should have been, because nobody cares. In the emergency room, they wouldn't even took care of my blockage. They probably would have turned my blockage into a mental illness. So, I went to work. I tried to take some laxatives and do the normal thing. I tried to drink plenty of water. I didn't eat anything that would clog me up. No bananas, nothing like that. And I just tried to let it pass. But then the pains came and I got stuck in the bathroom with severe pain on the ground, rolling around in pain, screaming in the bathroom by myself, doors locked, needing an ambulance. So I texted all my friends that I need an enema. I'm in extreme pain and I'm just about to call an ambulance. If you could drop it off at the door at my work that is locked, I will be happy to pay you any amount of money. One of them bit. One of my coworkers did it for me. She was rewarded greatly. I stuck an enema up my ass. I took care of it. It took about an hour to clear out. So I was in that bathroom for an hour trying to pass it. I was in pain, screaming, rolling around the floor, naked, trying to blow heat on my stomach, trying everything to pass this thing, screaming, like contractions, needing an ambulance. I got the phone on 911, trying to dial for any help. Then I get the enema. It starts working, but I'm still in pain. Eventually it passes and the pain is gone. But I still have a lot of gut pain left over. And don't forget, I still have this GI problem. I still have this kidney problem. This was only 6 months ago. So yes, I have enemas around that have been used not only at home, but whenever there's a blockage because I can't feel my nervous system. You might be wondering how I deal with this, how I get to the bathroom in general if my legs don't always work. Well, I keep a cane in my bed when I sleep. This cane right here. Yes, that cane is what I use. It's pretty beat up now because I've been using it for years now, and I keep on having seizures and falls and not receiving medical care, so I kind of have to do everything myself. I have to treat a severe disorder and a severe disability myself, and I have to try to work while bleeding on the side of the road, get back up and get to work and keep this town running. When everybody else had COVID, even when I had COVID, and all the gas stations were closed down, there was people couldn't find the gas, even though it was essential service. They couldn't get anybody to work. So during the week they were open, but every so often they would be closed. They would say like Monday and Thursday were open only or stuff like that. All week long we were open thanks to me, And the fact that when I caught the flu, the hospital wouldn't let me go out of work. My doctor wouldn't let me go out of work. They gave me a 24-hour notice, literally a couple days to recover from COVID, and then they wanted me right back to work. And then I would fall on the side of the road having seizures, bloody, and they would want me right back to work. Then I would have another fall or freeze, right back to work. Then I would ask them for some help at the Department of Health and Human Services, and they would tell me the only way I can stay in an apartment is to go back to work. Every single time I try to get any financial help whatsoever, it's always, nope, we're not going to help you. The only way you can pay your bills is going back to work. They've given me no other options to stay indoors out of the freezing cold but working as a disabled man. Meanwhile, they were very happy to give $980 a month to my father, who already owned 2 houses, 2 cars. He already had plenty, but they're willing to give him money for Social Security with my name on the check for me. That's what they said it was for. The Social Security was for raising me. Meanwhile, I'm living in a program, not allowed to go clothing shopping with the other kids, getting food poisoning in New Mexico, getting choked out by a big African American, only seeing my parents 18 months in, 18 hours in an 18-month period. Then when I'm living in Haverhill and in other programs, I'm only seeing my father and mother only 2 days a week. So that is 8 days a damn month. And they're collecting $980 in my name, saying that I am disabled, that I have mental illnesses, and that I am in a special school, even though I had 4 years of education stolen from me. I didn't go to school in New Mexico. I didn't have any proper education there. I didn't have a proper education when I was being homeschooled. I redid the first grade twice, all because my mother wanted that to happen. She asked the teacher to hold me back, even though the teacher wanted me to move to second grade. She said I was on the top of my class or doing very well, but my mother wanted to hold me back. And on top of this, when we finally moved to Massachusetts, after Texas, after New Mexico, after Maine, there's another school who literally lets me play Yu-Gi-Oh with all the other kids, lets all the kids play with action figures and toys all the time. The only thing we did other than action figures and toys was wiffle ball and soap making. That's it, and lunch. For the whole year, every day, go in, play with toys, play with your cards. Go out to play wiffle ball, come back in, play with your cards, go to lunch, play with your toys, go home. We all were bringing in Bionicles, Legos, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, toys, action figures, whatever, and we are literally needing a 4th grade education. So yes, I missed out on my education. When my parents found out about this, they just called the school. I got punished by the school, and that's all that ever happened. Meanwhile, the other kids' parents eventually sued. They took care of it the right way. My parents just let me go without more education. So, yes, they called me very special. They called me slow because of this. They over-medicated me. I was drooling, hung over in the mornings from all these medications. On top of this, I was hung over, and then they would give me Ritalin on top of the hangover. They would give me Wellbutrin with Ritalin sometimes. Then they would give me stuff like risperidone and Thorazine and Seroquel and Remron and Lamictal and Zyprexa. And the Zyprexa they pulled away because the only person thinking I needed it was my mother's mental illness and her own fantasies in her head. So they only gave her that for a short amount of time, but it was hurting me, just like the lithium was hurting me, just like my white blood count was hurting me on the medication, just like my nipples dripping milk from the medication was hurting me. People were making fun of me. I was having problems with my nervous system. I'm bumping into stuff. I'm falling down. I'm drooling. I'm hungover. I'm having heart palpitations. I'm nervous. I'm having PTSD. But none of that's being treated. No. The only thing being treated, the only thing having my father spend money on when it came to my health is my mother's mental illness, trying to make up mental illnesses for me. That's it. Always Always psychological. Always some bullshit psychological that never ever showed any results in the helping me. It always caused way more suffering. So now, what do I do to shave? Well, if I try to use a razor blade, I slice myself because my hands shake constantly. You could probably tell by me not being able to keep this camera straight. Even my legs I can't keep still enough to keep the camera still. So I use this because I always cut myself. I can keep it still for a second, but shaving every day, I'm gonna get cut. If you gotta shave every day, you're gonna get cut if you can't keep your hands still. And no, I can't. Maybe for a second, maybe I get lucky for a day, maybe I get lucky for the second day, and then the third day I get a big cut. Then I get lucky for the fourth day, and then the fifth day I get cut over here. And, it just, in a matter of time, I got cuts all over. So, I use this. Now, what is the cool thing about this? Watch this. I can slice all I want, sideways, up, down, and it doesn't cut me. But it gives me a clean shave every time, with or without. And if I use a little bit of soap or a little bit of stuff, I get a way closer shave than that. And I can go any which way with it. I can go back, forth, and I don't have to worry about cuts. I can just, don't want to catch my hair. I just cut my hair. Nope, that's going to take a long time to grow back. I can go like that real quick. Go like that. I can basically do whatever I need. Oh, God. My arms are shaking pretty bad. So that's how I shave, and I'll finish shaving because that's what I came in here for, but I wanted to give you a glimpse. And I use this mirror right here. I also have another shower mirror in case I'm sitting. I don't know where it went, actually. It's supposed to be in there someplace. I've been using it sitting here lately because I can't stretch or turn thanks to the GI anymore. The neurological disorder is the reason why I have to sit most of the time and why I have to be careful of shaving. But the new thing is I can't twist and I have problems with my kidneys and GI. And we don't know what's the cause of that. I got sewage water that I was drinking beforehand while I was filtering it. And then I was boiling it because it's the only drinking water we get. But it's what comes out of our sink is sewage water. So that's kind of a problem. As well as my roommate doesn't want to clean his hands and he poops all over the floor because of his colostomy bag. So I spend at least one day a week on my hands and knees bleaching the floor, hence the bucket of bleach, that, and that little cleaning box there. This is all cleaning utensils. And I have to use this really heavy-duty toilet bleach to clean him up the floor and the toilets after him, too. I go through a bottle a week. I'm having to bleach everything. But that's only $1 bottle. It's not that strong. If I got the stronger stuff, I probably could do it once a month. But the water turns black, dirty, poopy really quick. I mean, I'm always having to clean this floor of his poop that he just leaves around. If I leave it for a month, it becomes piles of poop. This man really needed some help, but the problem is nobody wanted to help him. Even his home nurse didn't want to report what was really going on, so he was using the homeless for attention, cleaning his house, stuff like that. But in Massachusetts, he had a lot more strength. He used to clean up his own poop. He used to clean up a lot of his own house. But now, unless he's outside with fresh air, he literally is so weak he can't even stand up. When he stands up, he's so dizzy. Unless I open up all the windows wide, air it out for a day, then he's his normal self a little bit. He starts coming back to his normal self. I start coming back to my normal self. But we'll never be 100%. I'll never be the same after my mother's overdose. And I don't think I'll ever, my lungs and breathing and my muscle and my ability to run upstairs will never be the same thanks to this landlord's apartment. And I just wanted to go over how I shave, that kind of give you a glimpse.